Hi, this is Robin Ali sharing with you our passion of all things cruise and travel.
This is day 6 of our cruise. We've arrived in Keelung. Al's been looking at all sorts of things for us to do here in Keelung, so we'll tell you about that a bit later and as we go along.
Move over Hollywood, we have the Keelung sign. They're not quite mountains, but just up in the hills that surround the harbour here. Straight away, you get the sense of a bustling town or a bustling city.
Yeah.
But there's, look, in the background here, you've got ramshackle kind of apartment buildings, and then you've got traditional buildings in the background that you can see, as well as some modern buildings. This is really what I expected to see when I came here,
Yes.
and I am not disappointed at all. It just has that vibrancy about it. Let's keep going.
When we come out into this open area, we've got a mix of new buildings like the one over here that we're looking at now, and some of the older buildings, which are these ones that we can see, and we're panning round now. This is overlooking the water where or the terminal where the ships are, Norwegian Spirit. We're on the other side of this building. You can't see our ship from here.
Maritime Plaza is the first on our list. It's literally 5 minutes walk from the cruise ship, and it just gives you, so it's on our way to the main park where they have the Buddha and all the temples and things. So, but it's a great place to just come, and you just get a flavour, just an idea of what this city's like. Yes, the buildings are a bit old and a bit kind of do you know, it has that look about it as though they used to have sort of coal fires or something. Everything has that look about it that it needs a good steam clean, but it's like smoky rather than just dirty. Anyway, that's just age. It's just got so many different styles here, and that, I guess, is quintessential about where we are here, is that there's been so many different nationalities that have lived here and kind of ruled here, if you like, and you get a sense of that here. This way.
So where's on our next list of calls? It's going to call it port of call then, but it's not. That's
Look, you're going to try and make me say it, aren't you?
Yes.
I'm going to say it in little bits then. Zhongzheng Park.
Zhongzheng Park.
Zhongzheng Park.
Okay.
I think I should have put it into Google and asked Google to translate.
So how long is that walk, do we think, from our guided?
Probably just about another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe another 10 minutes, but we just go round this way and through.
All right.
Keelung Tower, further down here. But at the moment we're on our way to Zhongzheng Park. I think that's how you pronounce it. We get 65 seconds to cross this street. Did it with 40 seconds to spare. There are heaps of moped scooters all over here, and it was like the start of a scooter Grand Prix there, all at the traffic lights waiting to go. Now straight off down that last street we were on, Al managed to find a Starbucks, so she's happy. She's got a coffee.
I know, after me saying how bad the other one was, I just saw, and I couldn't find anywhere to get a coffee, but actually, do you know, I said no sugar, extra shot. It's delicious. They must have just put so much syrup and sugar in the one I had in Japan, in Tokyo. They've made a fine coffee here.
We are literally just a few more minutes walk, and we've come to the gate that leads up to Zhongzheng Park. Excuse me if I pronounced that wrong. Zhongzheng Park, yeah. Now, chaps just stopped us and said, over here, there's an elevator if we don't fancy walking up these steps. What do you reckon? Are you going for the steps or are you going for the elevator?
It's a photo opportunity for the steps, and then I can stand at the top and pretend I've actually walked up them. And maybe edit out the bit that says elevator.
Here's the steps.
Ooh. I feel as though we should do them. I feel as though we're cheating a little bit, don't you?
Well, I was always going to do them anyway.
By not walking up them. Okay, let's give it a go.
Off goes Al to the elevator. I'm going to take the steps. We'll see who gets to the top first. Did the lift break down on the way up?
This lady brought me up. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Just take a walk to the mountain.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
This way also
Beautiful.
can go.
Yes.
You can get it this way.
Okay, and
Yeah.
just walk up.
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh.
It was an air raid shelter underneath. So you could, so as well as getting the elevator, it's all cut out of rock as a shelter, and yeah, you could have had a tour. So it's just like a little circular tour. Well worth doing. We've kind of missed out now by walking up the steps. But she said to me, "Oh, we'll get there before your husband." That's why she was laughing. She said, "Let's beat him." So such a sense of humour. She was like, "Quick, we'll beat him."
Oh, you didn't? I thought it had broken down. You were so long.
Well, we were chatting. She was so lovely. She was chatting and kind of telling me, you know, and walk around. And she said, "Go to the tower. You must go to the tower."
Okay.
Although it says here the Keelung Tower.
And the sign, yeah, exactly. The sign here says Keelung Tower this way, so we're heading in the right direction anyway. It's quite a steep pathway up here, actually, to go up to the park and the tower. Deceptive. It probably doesn't come out on the film just how steep it is, but if I turn around, maybe get that. And because it's been wet, it's quite slippy underfoot as well. Watch yourself. Oh, it's quite slippy, slimy. One thing Keelung is not short of is steps. Carrying on up to the Keelung Tower, and there are a few more sets of steps yet to go up, and they're steep steps. However, when we get to the top,
That was a surprise.
it was a surprise and well worth it. Look at that building, that is magnificent. Wow. I think I might have said this building behind me is the Keelung Tower. The Keelung Tower is actually beyond that. This is the building called Zuputan, and I'll see if Al knows anything about this building.
There are a number of things to see in Zhongzheng Park. It's roughly divided into 3 levels. So here we are at the Zhongzheng Temple. So it says this is quite an interesting temple. This was established by the first immigrants to Taiwan as a means to resolve land disputes. They agreed to set up the temple for worship, to maintain peace amongst themselves. So it's sort of a gathering place to come and worship. And they would have a yearly worship that is part of the Zhongzheng Festival, also known as the Ghost Festival. The temple was situated in GeoPark Park during the Japanese occupation, and then it was later on moved here. Now we've heard about houses being moved, but whole temples.
I know,
my
that would have
goodness.
been a huge job moving that temple here.
So it's not only a place of worship, but it's also a symbol of the cultural heritage. It's absolutely beautiful and overlooks. Still, you can get lots of views over here. They're more of interesting views, I would say, rather than attractive. Although when you look at the hills, do you know the way that the greenery is so lush, it's almost like it's draped. So the forest, or whatever you would call it, the greenery in the mountains, looks like it's draped over rather than growing. Do you not think?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
It's got a real different look to it than anything I've seen, I think, anywhere else. Yeah, it's quite spectacular. We are on top of the Keelung Towers. We'd definitely say it's a great place to start off your tour of Keelung. Just head straight here, come up to the top. This gives you a great perspective of the whole of the kind of the city here, the harbour. Robert's just going to do a pan around here of the harbour. Gives you a great view of the hills behind, the kind of the rolling hills. You can see how cloud heavy it is. Apparently it's like this about 200 days of the year where it'll get misty and rainy. Over on this side, you can see the beautiful statue. She is the goddess of mercy, the Guiyin statue, a 25-meter high statue that overlooks the harbour. She is the biggest statue in the whole of Asia, believe it or not.
Well, it doesn't surprise me because it's huge.
Visitors can climb inside, a little bit like the Statue of Liberty, I guess. And she's beautiful. She's got her head bowed in grace and a Statue of Mercy. Let's hip hop along. Actually, we walked through I'm just going to say, we walked through the park, which was beautiful, very lush, and winding steps. But both of us have been bitten to death. Honestly, I never thought that I would need to put on insect repellent, but we're both scratching away. So, and there's a lot of steps. It's beautiful, but the towers have lifts, so if you want to cheat and just come straight up here, just head for the bottom of the towers and come up.
You can walk out to the end over here, it's observation pot, but beware for some serious tummy.
Oh, Robert's just gone, whoa, his knees have gone. I don't really like heights, and I was like, no, this is fine, this is wonderful. Then I looked down and you can kind of see the edges here, and it gives you that wobbly moment.
Okay, now I know I'll hate me doing this, but I'm going to. Here's the city, and if I hold the camera over the edge here, that's what she's talking about, looking down. See the cranes over the harbour there. Apparently a lot of that over there is reclaimed land, but I'm not sure which part is reclaimed land. It was a bit unclear from the map. And of course the other part of the city that we can see over here. We've just come down in the lift, and this is the tower that we've just come down. It's a fair height, and what I want to show you is this point here on the left is the little observation lookout. And no wonder I felt a bit unstable. Look at how it's hanging out there. Ugh. Okay, so we're going to head out to the GeoPark now. We're going to have our first attempt at hailing a taxi. Apparently you can hail taxis here in Keelung, so we'll give it a go. What's at the GeoPark, Al?
Well, it's a geological kind of, it's on the island. It's called Heping Island. It's a geological site. So it's just beautiful scenery that is quite unusual, and it's, I don't know, you pay to go in and it's got all things there to see. I don't know, it's a little bit difficult to understand when I've read about it, but it is a sight to see.
Okay, well I've no idea how or where we hail taxis. So there's one right across the road. I don't know whether he's taken or not.
Traffic sign. You just go. Then
Okay.
the car told you.
Okay,
stop.
thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So where there's a crossing and there's no lights on, apparently the cars must stop for us if we're crossing. I'm giving it a go.
If we walk down there, that's the more of a main road.
Okay. Have a walk down the street. I can smell food and it all smells good, and it is getting near to lunchtime, so I think at some time we might need to stop and have some lunch.
Oh, the pastries.
Bakery looks nice.
Oh my God, all that bread looks amazing. Amazing. I'm not allowed to say it, am I? Okay.
Al has hailed a taxi. I'm not going to try and get in on the other side, I'll get in here. That was quite a nice taxi ride. It cost us 180 new Taiwanese dollars. Did a quick calculation, it may or may not be exact, but I think it's around about 10 Australian dollars, which is fine for the distance that we've come. So we're now arrived at Heping Island Park, which is the GeoPark.
So it's sort of geographical. No, I've got that wrong. It's not geographical. I don't know. GeoPark. So it's sort of scenery and rocks and formations and things and the like. Looks stunning on the photographs that we've seen.
Excellent. All right. Well,
very, very reasonably priced. It's like next to nothing.
There are a few people here, so let's have a look. Is there an entrance fee for this one, Al?
Yes. I say it costs next to nothing, but there is an entrance fee. But
Okay.
So tickets here are 120 Taiwanese dollars, which we think is about, it's just a little over $6.
No, seven. Just over seven.
$7 each. If you're a senior citizen though, or a student, it's half price. So it's very inexpensive for a trip here, especially the taxi was inexpensive. So I don't think there's any need to get a coach trip.
No.
Thank you.
65 years old over, you can discount.
Oh, I'm too young.
You're friend. Okay, it's joke. Okay, have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can you show me cruise ship?
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Have you got all cruise?
I've got mine. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. So 2 adult, right?
yes.
192.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you. A diamond card does it every time.
We did look on Klook to see if we could get a discount on Klook, and I think that was around about $5.60 Australian per person. So it really wasn't. It was only like $1.50 Australian per person cheaper on Klook. So we decided that we would just pay. We've got cash anyway. But when we got to the counter, the lady asked us if we were on the cruise, and we gave her a cruise card, and we got 2 for $190. So that's around about $12 for the two of us. Yeah, happy with that.
Thank you.
At Heping Island Park, the GeoPark that we have arrived at, I think I have said every single word beginning with geo, geographical, geometric, or whatever. Anyway, it actually is, of course, geology.
Geological.
And it's the geological park.
Yes.
The science of the Earth's structure. And here we have, this is it. This is why this is a national park. It's stunning. And there's more to come just round the corner.
Okay, let's go and have a look.
This is the island in the island, this little things.
Oh, okay.
This is the sea line separating the island and Zhongzheng Island. The two islands are now connected from sea reclamation. The small island in the bay becomes the beautiful island in the island that we know today. You will be amazed by nature's gift. I love that, nature's gift. Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
This is the best souvenir shop in the world then.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. From here, we're going to try and find the visitor centre, maybe get a little bit of something to eat from the cafe there.
This is the Cruise Plaza fountain display. It goes on display every half an hour and gives you this beautiful little display of fountains. What it does say is, it doesn't quite say this is not your water park on the ship, but it does say do not run through this with bare feet and play in the fountains. I'm laughing because I have been forbidden to say the word amazing. Because when I get excited and I see something I don't expect, out comes my accent and I say things like, it's amazing! It's amazing! It is amazing because as we came across here, this is the pool. So these are sort of man-made pools, but they are fed from the sea. The sea waves come crashing in. They look like really horrible concrete swimming pools, really very sort of dated and 70s looking. But actually, because the fresh water comes in, they are teeming with wildlife and fish and sea urchins. And as we looked over, I thought it was bits of blue plastic. It was so incredibly blue. And then I was like, it is all the fish that you could see. Absolutely incredible. I don't know whether we can capture them on film. We've tried to, but it was a real surprise.
Down by the pool, opposite the pool, they've got a sandy area with some shelters for people to come in, and that right next to that is the kiddie pool.
Not only do they have a kiddie pool, they have a pet pool.
No.
And they also have a separate shower area for you to go and shower off your dogs when they've had a swim.
Wow. Imagine, well, Ruby would absolutely love that. Toby would sit and watch, but wow.
I'm rather parched.
Yes, let's go see if we can find the cafe. Looks like there's some construction going on here, but the visitor information and the restaurant is through this little tunnel.
It's strange, isn't it? They said it rains at least 200 days a year here, but on this visitor centre, they're actually waterproofing it.
Oh, that's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing on the outside here.
To get through to the cafe, we've walked through a construction site. This is where the waterproofing is all taking place, and we're actually walking through this in order to get to the cafe. It's a bit confusing, but it looks like it is open.
You know, when your mind is focused on something, so I've got to have a drink. I just have to have a drink. I'm so thirsty. Robert's got water, and I hate water, even bottled water. So we found our way to the cafe, and clearly there is work being done here. And it says so outside, but as you can hear, they're actually doing building work around in the cafe. The signs were up and they said, you're welcome to come in and get a drink. And I said, they didn't have soy milk for the coffee. So I said, I'll have a lemon soda. And I paid 200 Taiwanese dollars. And as I walked away, I said to Robert, I'm just doing a quick calculation. If I just paid $12 for a lemon drink? And he went, yeah. So I was that's been the most expensive thing all morning added together. So I was expecting a can of lemon soda like a Sprite, but actually, to their credit, they have brought me, it's actually sort of fresh citrus juices, so it's freshly squeezed lemon juice with some sugar and water, and it is delicious. $12, still a little bit on the steep side, but it's come in a cut glass. It is delicious though.
The master planner is at work now, although she's discovered that the back of the map actually have some food and descriptions on there, so...
Well, it does say that there's an emperor's pie. Now look, if you're going to have any sort of food, it should be something that's fit for an emperor. Do you know what an emperor's
Absolutely,
pie?
and pie works for me.
It says layers and layers of flavours. I just don't know what's in it. Layers of textures and flavours. Glasses on, ready for business.
Okay.
I'm going to just finish off my drink.
And we are, I think we're going to go and have a look at the colourful houses now. But whether we walk or whether we get a taxi depends on whether we see a taxi on the way. Still in the GeoPark, we've left the little cafe and we're walking up to the point where one of the workmen there said we can see the whole of the island. And we've come across this little area. We're trying to work out what it is. Al's got her translator out. But they're like little caravans, and there's a barbecue eating type area, and there's some times and prices. So I think you can probably rent these by the hour or maybe longer. I'm not sure whether you can stay in them any long term, but we'll find out when Al does the translation.
Wow.
And there we go, there's the translation, quick as a flash. What have you found out?
Well, this is just going to be wild. Okay, so this is a journey that starts, so it's sort of a late afternoon right through until the next morning. You get a whole experience here. So at sort of 3:45 you are welcomed onto the island. Then at 4 o'clock you have an initiation ceremony. At 4:30 the butler leads the way, and you have free adventure in the water here in the pools. Then at 6 o'clock you have an eco dinner. Then you have a secret night exploration. Then a late night snack at 10 o'clock. A stargazing party between 10 and 4 in the morning. But between midnight and 4:30 in the morning. You also have a breathe freely, which I think is like sleep time maybe. Then at 4:30 till 7, embrace the sunrise and clean the beach. 7:30, have a wonderful breakfast. 8:30, exploration of the seas. Then pack up and farewell to the island at 11 o'clock.
Wow. And all that for the bargain price, it would appear, of 3,999 new Taiwanese dollars. Does that sound about right from what your translation says?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that would work out around about 240 Australian dollars. Is that per person now?
It doesn't actually
Doesn't say.
on that.
Okay.
But it says chill together for 24 hours non-stop fun.
Fantastic.
So that's, you wouldn't have believed that, would
I know,
you?
that- what a
I
great
think
way
it's just a shame that it's all kind of being restored. So it's not a
Repaired,
shame that
yeah.
it's being restored, it's just a shame that we've come here now. But we wouldn't have been able to do that anyway. Well, we could have done actually.
I don't think we
You could do it from the cruise ship, because it says if you haven't arrived back on your cruise ship before midnight, see you the next morning at 7:30.
Yes, you will, but these go until 11, so. We're not allowed to enter this area, it's a restricted area, but some very strange rock formations here. And we can see this island, this peak island out here. Beautiful. There is a path that goes round here, as you can see. I'm not sure whether I'm on the path, but it goes all the way up the side of the hill, and you can walk all the way up there. We're not going to do that today because of time, because there's other things that we want to see. So we're going to walk back to the shop and get a taxi and go and see the colourful houses around by the fishing village and the fishing harbour. The guys in the souvenir shop have called us a taxi to go to our next place that we're visiting, and it's really efficient. They give you the number of the taxi and they tell you how much it's going to cost. So this is going to cost us 130 new Taiwanese dollars, which I think is around about $8 maybe Australian, and we meet them at the exit. They've given us they've written down the registration number of the vehicle. We just meet them and they'll take us there. Very efficient. Our taxi driver has brought us to the fishing harbour, the fishing village, and we can see these beautiful coloured buildings behind us, which is what this area is known as, coloured houses. Well, it's always known for, sorry, not as. There's a little hut here with a guy selling, I think, some food and some beers. I certainly saw him with some beers. Okay, so tell me a little bit about where we are now, Al.
This is the Zhengbin fishing port. It's just a little tiny fishing harbour, delightfully lined by these colourful little houses here that are kind of on 3 or 4 stories, most of those. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can see that we still have the fishing boats here. Traditionally,
I'm not sure that one at the end is a traditional fishing boat, but
yeah, looks a bit high end, doesn't it?
they might have fishing rods on board.
Now I can see on the other side we have a 2-man cafe and we have a Casa Picasso. Let's see if we can get something to eat. I think it's supposed to be sort of famous for getting something to eat and just sitting and enjoying the view here of the harbour. But there doesn't look to be a lot open. Anyway, let's have a look and see what we can get.
A short walk around the harbour and down some steps, and we're on the other side of the water.
Well, we managed to make it over to the other side. That was quite hairy, in between the cars and the motorcycles.
It looks so quiet, and then when you go round the back here to get round the harbour, it's just all traffic coming all over the place. And then we've just found the staircase that gets you back onto the harbour side. Phew.
Yeah, I think actually we could have just walked and cut in front of these buildings here, but oh well.
There's a lot of pastry shops, like little patisseries with obviously cakes and breads and things and coffee. I'd like something a little bit more substantial.
Okay,
but
Down towards the far end of this harbour is the Picasso Cafe, which is looked very inviting, and it's got beautiful air conditioning, and the menu looked very enticing. So we're having the same. We're having garlic shrimp linguine. So I'm looking forward to that actually.
this is situated right on the harbour, so we do have, they're not beautiful views, but they are very, I don't know, enchanting. Let's say they're enchanting views. Very authentic of this area. This particular restaurant cafe is it's very modern, very clean, and yeah, it's not on the expensive side. It's more expensive than a lot of the other little cafes that we passed, but most of those had specialty breads and patisseries, and we needed food. We did not need a snack, and rather than head back into the cruise terminal, we thought we would eat here and enjoy this.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have been brought some bread which has got, I think, cranberries and cheese in. I was taking the cheese out of hers, but it's lovely and warm.
How desperate am I? I'm so hungry. I've got a nerve to be hungry. All the food we've eaten on this cruise, but I actually feel so hungry. I've taken all the cheese out and I'm still eating the bread and cranberries. And it's delicious.
Now, we both ordered the garlic shrimp linguine. I'm not really sure what I expected. I thought it'd be just like some prawns or bits of prawns mixed in with the linguine and garlic, but this is what has come. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 huge prawns with the linguine, and it smells delicious.
It is garlic and olive oil, so I've just moved mine around a bit. Look at this. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to taste it. It looks like roasted garlic. Huge pieces, and you can just smell it. It smells amazing.
Certainly does. I'm not sure
amazing.
how you're going to go on with those peeling your own prawns though, but
I suppose we shouldn't be surprised, but the sauce is like a very, very light, almost soy sauce.
okay.
You wouldn't think that would go, and delicious. It's very, very light, very subtle flavour. So it doesn't taste sort of oriental at all. It's a real fusion of flavours.
Fantastic.
That was absolutely superb. I've got garlic and I've got chili in my mouth, on my lips, and it is, that is one of the best prawn linguines that I've had from as long as I can remember. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab a taxi, see if we can hail down a taxi and make our way back to the cruise ship. I'm assuming that we'll be allowed back on now, because they'll have been down to 0. Go through the immigration process. Actually, I don't think we'll need to go through immigration process because we're already here. So we'll get back on the ship and then probably pack. Another great hail of a cab by Al. Okay, back at the cruise terminal, 180 yen. Back to the ship, over to the right. Off we go. That was a little bit confusing, but I think the taxi actually dropped us at the other end of the terminal. So we've walked through now and we're on the escalator back up to the ship. There's lots of other people coming back on now as well, so I think we'll be okay for getting back on the ship. Okay, we're going to hail a taxi now and head out to the GeoPark, where apparently there are some colourful houses and some scenery to see.
Well, no, actually.
Oh.
We are here at the... What's the island called? What is the island called?
That was our day in Keelung. We were back the following day for the morning before we caught our flight home. So we'll see a bit more tomorrow morning. If you've liked this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe and hit the notification button if you want to see more of our videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.